So the women on The View had a conversation about Joe Biden calling Peter Doocy, I think his first name is Peter, son of a bitch. So that's a Fox News reporter. Biden was asked a question about inflation. Hey, the gist of the question was, is inflation going to be a political liability in the midterms? And Joe Biden was like, no, it's a great asset. You stupid son of a bitch. Accurate, authentic, honest. I love it. Well, the ladies on The View have a slightly different opinion. Let's take a look and then I'll react.
You know, is this politics as usual? Can sometimes people just give it to you when the way you should get it back or shouldn't get it back? Or is this,
I hope it's not politics
bad?
As usual, though. Yeah. I mean, look, the former president set the bar low, right? Yeah. And I think one of the reasons why Joe Biden was elected, even though he has a history of being a loose cannon, is he was thought to restore civility to the office. And so, you know, it's not like he just, you know, dismissed it as a dumb question. Like, it was, he name called. And I just think, you know, as a mom to young kids, these are the people who should be setting examples for our kids. And it's like yet more examples of men behaving badly and mothers eventually having to clean it up because it's giving license to kids.
I completely agree with you. It's sort of beneath the dignity of the presidency. But what I appreciate is that he called and he apologized. That's something that we would have never heard the former, you know, twice impeached, disgraced president of this country do.
It's true, but I think he should. I think he should apologize to everyone.
The difference between Biden and Trump. Yeah. Because Trump, let us not forget, said that the press is the enemy of the people.
Yeah.
Right.
Even Chris Wallace acknowledged that in 2019. He said, I believe that President Trump is engaged in the most direct, sustained assault on freedom of the press in our history. So, okay, so he's, the stupid SOB, he says. It's nothing compared to what Trump said or did.
I agree with you, but we can't keep comparing him.
Yes, you can.
Trump.
They have an entire conversation about press freedom, and at no point do they bring up Julian Assange or Edward Snowden or the war on whistleblowers, people who are actually being punished for reporting the truth, telling the truth, exposing powerful people doing terrible things. We got Julian Assange rotting behind bars right now because he exposed U.S. war crimes. They have an entire conversation about freedom of the press, and nobody brings that up. You only count if you're part of elite media. And, you know, Joy Behar's point is when Trump cussed out big media, it was worse than when Biden did it. So now I'm going to, like, defend Biden in a weird roundabout way, saying, yeah, both are bad, but one was worse, so let's move on here. Like, look at the level of conversation that they're having. The level is so obnoxious. It's just so unserious. Bring up Julian Assange, for the love of God. That's a real crackdown on freedom of the press and free speech. Not Biden being authentic for one split second. The other part I love is when Lisa Ling says, it's good that he apologized to Doocy, but really Biden needs to apologize to the American people. I don't know what it is, but like, the moral compass of virtually all elites in the country is totally broken. You want to know what you can apologize for? You can apologize for leaving 80 million Americans uninsured or underinsured during a pandemic. That's what you can apologize for. There was a report that came out a little while ago from Public Citizen about 33% of COVID deaths could have been prevented. 33% of COVID deaths are attributable to what they call uninsurance, namely people not having health care in a pandemic. That's, I mean, if you include the excess deaths, so we're probably already at about 1 million or over COVID deaths, that's 330,000 lives that could have been saved if our government did the basic thing that all other developed governments do, which is provide national health care to everybody in the country. You don't need to apologize to me for being a dick to a guy who's a dick, to having an authentic and honest moment where you say, that was a stupid question. You need to apologize to the country for leaving it hanging during a pandemic. You need to apologize to the country for 80% living paycheck to paycheck, and that was pre-COVID. Pre-COVID. You need to apologize to the country for the average hospital in America charges $417 for every $100 of their cost. That's what you apologize for. The 45,000 deaths every year from lack of health care. Medical bills being the number one cause of bankruptcy. That's what you apologize for. Half of workers making $30,000 a year or less. That's what you apologize for. You apologize for the endless wars where all of our tax money is going towards the military budget. And meanwhile, our basic infrastructure is crumbling. This bipartisan corporate infrastructure package was a drop in the bucket. I mean, it was what, about $1 trillion, and we need like about $5 trillion just to update it? Never mind like actually make it number one in the world or make it a significantly better infrastructure. You want to apologize? Apologize for that. Apologize for corporations owning our government and getting whatever they want. Even the thing going after Trump, it's like, well, he was meaner to the press. www.idon'tcare.com. Why would I care about that? You know what I care about? What Trump did? I care about Trump doing a tax cut bill where 83% of the benefits went to the top 1%. That's what I care about that Trump did. That was bad. That was wrong. That was unacceptable. I mean, it's like the only conversation they know how to have is the civility and decorum conversation because the real world problems don't impact them. Everybody on that panel is phenomenally wealthy. And if they're phenomenally wealthy, they don't know about all the economic data I just gave you. They don't know about the backwards healthcare situation. That's not their main concern. So their main concern is, I got to explain to my shitty kid that the president cursed, and I can't handle that. Well, that was a stupid criticism under Donald Trump. It's a stupid criticism under Joe Biden, and it's the least of our worries. It's like they're so offended. I'm so offended by what Trump used to say and what Biden just said. What's offensive to me is 73% of the world's dictatorships being armed by the United States of America. That's what's offensive to me. But they don't even know this stuff. Of course they don't know this stuff. They're elites in their own bubble, and this is the entire conversation that they have. Again, sit there and reflect on the fact they had an entire conversation about press freedom, and nobody brought up Julian Assange. Nobody brought up the actual crackdown on freedom of the press and free speech. Nobody did it. Nobody did it. There's totally different sensibilities between the different generations. That's very clear. You know, the older generation of which these people are a part, clearly they still have the politeness sensibilities, whereas young people generally think, look, you can be as big of a dick as you want to be. Just get shit done policy-wise. I don't care how polite you are. I don't care if you're the biggest asshole in the world. If you're the biggest asshole in the world and you give people higher wages and healthcare, right on. It's just a totally different mindset and a totally different philosophy. And theirs is completely out of touch. I'm sorry, it is. It is. I mean, could you imagine? Yes, Biden apologized to Ducey, but he should also apologize to the American people. Apologize for being honest and authentic for 1 second in his entire presidency. Ducey asked a stupid question, and he was like, that's a stupid question. I want more of that. No apologizing for it, more of it. So there you have it. Now you know what The View is concerned with. And it's tribal, partisan bickering and decorum and civility politics. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.